So the reason I love this lick so much is that it's actually far easier to play than it sounds. It sounds really, really impressive, sounds really, really difficult and technical, but it's actually really easy to nail. I'm gonna come back and talk a little bit more about the details of this lick after, the tabs above of course, so you can learn it. I just want to talk about licks in general. You should be picky about what licks you learn, all puns intended, because there are probably enough licks on Instagram and YouTube and all over the internet by now that if you learn one every 5 minutes, in the rest of your lifespan, you probably wouldn't have time just to learn the licks that have been released just today. So you've got to find out amount of time to learn lots and lots of licks. Do you even need to learn to shred? Do you even need to learn to be a technical player to become professional? If you don't know who I am, my name's Doug. I'm a professional guitar player, and my mission here is to help you become a professional guitar player too. If you want to learn to shred, like for its own sake, just because you love to do it, then absolutely go for it. But do you need to learn to shred to become professional? The short answer is no. I know a lot of guitar players that are not particularly technically able, but through skills in other areas, they manage to actually make a full-time living playing guitar. But the good news is, if you enjoy learning to shred, you enjoy learning to play technical solos and technical parts, it does help you a lot. It helps you in weird ways. So for example, whenever I post something of me playing something technical, a lot of times, a lot of beginners reach out for me for lessons, even though what I'm playing is not going to be relevant to them for at least 2 or 3 years. You get this overall perception of you as a player, as an advanced player, just because you can shred and play technical and play super fast. People perceive you as being great as a guitar player overall. The bad news is though, the less you are gigging currently, the more of your practice time you really ought to put aside for things like your repertoire, your timing, your feel, just the general perfection of playing with really nice feel, simple parts with really nice feel, and building a big repertoire. Things like this are more important. I would say if you're not gigging at all, then really 90% of your practice time should be towards that sort of thing if you're wanting to become professional and make guitar playing your full-time job. So why is this lick a cheat lick? And the reason that it's a cheat is because you're playing 2 notes with the right hand and you're kind of making one motion in and out, like hitting a drum, and you get 2 notes for that. So I go in and I go. So I got one motion with the hand and I get 2 notes. And then I peel my hand away, my left hand, so the right hand gets these 2 notes. And then I pull my left hand away like this, and I get 2 pull-offs. I'm hitting the drum 1 time, that's 1 motion, and peeling away, that's 1 motion. And each of those 1 motions gets 2 notes. So it's like. So it takes advantage of a kind of economy of motion because I'm getting a lot of notes for a very small amount of motion. And it's kind of got this Gatling gun effect. Whilst the pull-offs are happening, my right hand is kind of resetting to hit the drum again. And while my right hand is hitting this top notes, my left hand is kind of winding up to do those pull-offs. So it's more about coordination. And of course, then you move that shape up the fretboard. You can actually use this lick with any shape you want, so any scales that you wanted to do. So for instance, chromatic, you could do something like this. You can go down through the strings like this. And I'm also palm muting here. It brings out the percussive side of this. It's really nice. By the way, if you do like this lick, please consider booping the like button on this video. It helps me to spread this message and help more guitar players like you, so thank you for doing that. One last thing with this lick is it doesn't have to be a continuous shred idea like that. You don't have to just be continuously. You can also use it as kind of like a little flurry in a phrase, something like this. You get the idea. So any more questions on this lick, smash them in the comments. I'll put a couple of videos, recommended videos for you to watch next over here, and Doug out.